Welcome to Unmasked Health, where we tell the truth even when you don't want to hear it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Unmasked Health. Ignore the background, I'm redoing this bedroom and I was down here. Anyway, I thought I'd take the time to kind of talk to you about natural ways that you can help with your testosterone. Last episode, I kind of talked about environmental things, external things that are affecting males younger and younger, the testosterone level. So, sleep deprivation, more stress, sedentary lifestyle, poor diet, food, whatever. So, I'm going to talk about ways that you can help naturally your testosterone and maybe you will feel better. Of course, always talk to your doctor. You have to find what's going to work for you. Anyway, let's start talking about sleep. Your testosterone will start to peak between the hours of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. And if you're missing that deep sleep, if you're not getting like that really deep sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours, then your testosterone is naturally going to plummet by 20 to 30%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm telling you, it's a lot. Especially, you know, the older you are. So if you're 35-year-old, you're going to feel it a lot more than a 25-year-old would. What you can do for that is you need to aim for, deeper sleep, better sleep, longer sleep. And, sedentary lifestyle, we talked about that, how more men are sitting. A lot of that is job related, but there are things that you can do to help build your testosterone. The more adipose tissue you have, the lower your testosterone is going to be because your body is competing with putting out all the testosterone that it makes anyway across a larger body surface. And so it peters out before all the vital areas get hit. So strength training is a good way to increase muscle and in turn increases your testosterone. Um, don't go to the gym and do endless cardio. That's not, you don't have to go and lift weights every single day, all day long. We're not meant to walk around looking like clouds. That's not helping your testosterone. Strength training is a good thing to do. You need to focus on like things like, and look, I'm not a guru. I was in the gym till I broke my back, but things like overhead presses, squats, those sorts of things. I'm a big, huge advocate of walking at least 4 miles a day. But anyway, do that 3 to 4 times a week. That can help boost your testosterone naturally. Um, don't go to the gym. Just have a purpose to do it outside the home. You don't have to go spend money to get healthy. Again, I said something about the adipose tissue, the visceral fat, that kind of thing, that your body competes. You don't have enough testosterone already to kind of go across that whole body surface. So better food choices. If you eat better, you feel better, your hormones are able to work more efficiently. So, less fat, less simple carbs, anything white, yellow, or orange is my rule of thumb, and I mean like corn, potatoes, those sorts of things that are high in sugar, but more protein, healthy fats. You do have to have fat. I'm not saying get rid of that. I don't believe in extreme low carb dieting because it adds a lot of fat to the body, increases your risk for arterial disease. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Make sure you're getting plenty of fruits and vegetables because you need the vitamins in your body, your magnesium, your zinc, your vitamin Bs, your vitamin D, that kind of stuff. And so we talked about a little bit in the last episode what is killing testosterone are those ultra processed foods. And I'm talking about like, McDonald's and fast food places usually, and like bag chips. Anything on the center aisle of a grocery store is ultra processed. Skipping meals is a bad idea. You don't need to do that. And you need to cut out alcohol. I'm not saying that you have to cut it out completely, but at least, don't be drinking every day, maybe a glass of wine or beer or whatever it is that you drink. I can't say that one a day is not going to hurt you, but it could. Everybody's different. So just be mindful of that. Um, you're, the other thing that I want you to be aware of is that your body can't build testosterone drinking a bunch of energy drinks and eating a lot of fast food. Okay. Let's, just be honest about it. But let's reduce also your endocrine disruptions. And so this chemicals, like make sure you're looking to see what you're even cleaning your body with. A lot of those derivatives are estrogen driven. And so again, the higher your estrogen is, the lower your testosterone is going to be. It competes. Estrogen is always going to win over the testosterone. But anything that's, like plastics, and non-metal, even the food that you could, use, what am I trying to say? Those nonstick pans that we cook with, those are not good for you. Use iron to cook your food in. And I'm not saying that right because my brain's not working right now because I'm trying to keep the episode short. But anyway, a lot of strong fragrances also have chemicals that are harmful to the body. And you need to be mindful of storing your food. It's stored in plastics or even heated in plastics. We are bad about putting our food in plastics and then putting in the microwave, and that just heats the plastic up. Well, opt for glassware. Store your leftovers in glassware, and that way you're not getting exposure to that plastic. I think the hardest thing for us, for men, is gonna be to manage stress. Like, I mean, you manage it like your testosterone depends on it. You're gonna be looking at the phone going or listening to me and going, "You have no idea what you're talking about." Unfortunately, I do. I think we all do, and life is lifing for everybody. But again, chronic stress leads to high cortisol, which in turn leads to low testosterone. And so you know, you're struggling or you're stressing, there are cognitive behavior things that you can do. Walking's one, go to therapy. I do online therapy now. I've been I had to get back into that for whatever reason, but that I can't talk about here. Journaling is a really good thing. Men, I know you're going to look and go, that's a woman thing. Well, it's not. Journal on your phone, whatever. Listen to music, do some meditation, find a new hobby, something, talk to friends. And so the other thing is some supplements that may work, and I'm not telling you to take them, but I am kind of bringing it to your forehead right here, and you can take it to your doctor and talk to them about it. But vitamin D3, not D2, D3 works is, better converted by our liver. Zinc, magnesium glycinate, ashwagandha is a really good supplement, but it does have side effects. So just be mindful. I mean, anything that you take is going to have a side effect to it. So just be mindful of it. And your omega 3s, but you can go get an over-the-counter man's multivitamin and an omega 3, or something like that, fish oil, and it can boost your testosterone. Now, when you're reading, now this is going to be more than a 5 minute because we're talking about supplements, and I'm kind of not heavy on it, but I'm kind of compassionate about it, and I want you to be educated. Anything over the counter that says, hey, we can boost your testosterone 1,000%, 500%, 250%, they're full of crap. Run away. Don't even bother. Just get the natural, just a multivitamin, your omega 3s, look into the ashwagandha if you want to, and maybe, D3K2 supplementation. Those are just some natural ways to boost your testosterone. And if you're still having symptoms after that, you're still having concerns, then go get tested because you can start, weekly testosterone, or, you can go get the pellets, or, whatever's best for you. But those are just some natural ways to boost your testosterone. And next week, I'll introduce another short episode talking more about testosterone. And I'm going to get back to remodeling and doing things in my bedroom. But have a good week. I'll see you next time. Bye.